every time I walk in a place to get media credentials, it just still shocks me that this is my job.
That they approve you?
And yes, that I also get approved too. Both of those things, absolutely.
So you get excited for that. You're like, this is sweet. I get to go to sporting events for free.
Zabe, is that not part of our job, right?
No.
Like, absolutely. It's one of the it is the biggest benefit of what we do, right? Like it
is.
But
what?
You didn't go to the Final Four.
Yeah.
And you had tickets to go for free to the
Oh,
Final
boy.
Four.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Because I don't think a basketball game is for Butch.
It doesn't do it.
That's work for
good.
Butch. I'm going to try and say this right.
That's a busman's holiday, as they call it.
Butch is used to many, many basketball games. It's not
I'm
like
used to them. I sit there. I call them all the above.
So that's a little.
You give me media credentials to the Super Bowl, I'm going every
Well,
single one.
yeah.
You can go to Media Row anytime you want to go to Media Row. All you got to do is put the credentials in. You don't put them
want
in.
Media Row. I want the Super Bowl. I want to go to the game.
But
you
that's
had
it.
tickets to the
That's
game.
the same
You didn't
thing.
go to the game.
It's not the same thing.
It's not tickets. It's media row. It's media seats, right?
That's what we have. Media. We have media seats for the Final Four. I don't have. They're media seats.
As in the words of a great Steve Zabin, it doesn't hit the same.
Doesn't hit the same. A busman's
Well,
holiday.
it's the same.
A busman's holiday was first coined in 1893 in the UK. The notion is that why would you take an excursion by bus engaging in a similar activity to your own work? So if there's something you do normally, you're like, why would I take a vacation to do that?
But in a way, well, for Butch it counts and John it counts because they do broadcast the games as well, right? John's on the sideline. Butch does many, many, many games. But for us, it'd be just doing radio shows, right?
I suppose, yeah.
So like on our vacations, we're not going to go to a radio studio and hang out.
Yeah, that would be our busman's holiday
In a way.
there. Once upon a time, Kirk Triplett, longtime PGA Tour jobber, was asked, well, who has more pressure in life, a brain surgeon or a pro golfer? He goes, that's easy, a pro golfer. And they're like, why? He goes, because at least a brain surgeon can play golf to relax.
That's a great point.
We've got no way to relax from our stressful job of trying to make money.
Well, I am going to say that the brain surgeon's a little bit harder. Trust me, I know firsthand.
You know firsthand.
I know firsthand. Like I'm going to go with Dr. Foy at Children's Hospital, having a tougher job. Shout out to Dr. Foy, even though he's a Marquette grad. Yeah,
I didn't
even though
say
he's a Marquette
tougher.
fan.
I didn't say tougher. I said more stressful. Triplett's
still
point
going-
was there are stress relievers for doctors, but that golfer is the one thing. Golf's supposed to relax, Kuhn. It's supposed to be like, yay, la 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 la.
No, I get what
some
you're saying.
people, for some people that claim to be a 12 handicap but are really floating around as a 6, it can be very easy.
I don't know any of those people.
No.
For some people who forget their cart battery and their phone and their speaker, it can be a stressful affair.
It was a little stressful, and the battery dies. Yeah, all on the same day.
Exactly. So, did you see, Butchie, where Patty Harrington said the course up there is harder than what the U.S. Open course was at LACC?
Yeah, and I actually, the way it's playing, it's hard to disagree with that right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got 4 people under par. That's it. Now, I played it for Media Day. I know KB was up here. I know Heller was up here. A little bit different because we had to play off some mats and stuff like that. But they were doing that to keep this course in this kind of condition. This rough is crazy. I had a chance to play it normally at the end of last year. And
what'd you shoot, big guy?
I was under 100.
Okay.
Lucky.
It was 96, but I was under 100.
That's not bad.
But it was not by no means the condition
that
it is now, right? Like now it is. I'm telling you, I watched on TV a little bit. I'm excited. I was able to take a quick walk before jumping on here. These guys are really good, and they are struggling. And this course is showing its teeth. It's fun to be up here. I'm looking forward to today.
Is the fescue too penal?
Well, the rough is thick, man. The
fescue, yeah.
Like it's crazy.
Well, the fescue is the knee-high stuff.
Yeah.
That turns.
All right, it's just a term I heard once. I'm going to say it.
You're just going to repeat it till it's true. All right. What do you want to talk about here? I have a story that's non-sports that I keep reading going, this can't be real, but we can talk sports if you want. Okay, good.
But we do that here.
Okay.
This
right.
is the specialized format for exactly that.
Perfect. Okay. You ready? Headline: Police officers jail their toddler for struggling with potty training.
Oh, I wish we could have done that.
Yeah.
What was this, a real jailing? Was this in Sweden or Finland or something like that?
Dateline, Florida. Ever
Oh,
heard
no.
of
Oh no.
Real
Ever
story.
heard of it?
This is ever heard of the legend of Florida man? This is a real story. WashingtonPost.com. So this is not some fake website. 2 Florida parents who are both high-ranking police officers are under investigation for admitting they put their 3-year-old in jail because he was struggling with potty training. Lieutenant Michael Schoenbrod of the Daytona Beach Shores Public Safety Department brought his son to jail on back-to-back days in October, one time placing him in handcuffs.
There's no handcuffs
Yeah,
that
it's
fit a
tough.
3-year-old.
Here's the problem, Zabe. Like with the boy, you got to give him some more leniency. Like boys are tough, man. Like Blake was
Blake
trained.
tough?
Oh yeah. Now he's potty trained by 3. Before he was 3, he got potty trained. Thank goodness. But dude would not want to go number 2 no matter what we did, man. I'm telling you, like P was good. He had it. He understood it. Dude was scared to do the number 2. It was. I'm telling you, like it took some time. We thought we were there, and then we realized like we're not there. We went back. We kind of just aborted that kind of mission of potty training, and within 2 months later, he kind of turned the corner. But
Wow.
you can't. I'm not throwing him in jail, but I was ready to boot him to the moon a couple of times. That's for sure. I mean, you can only pick up poop so many times.
There's body cam footage of the dad saying he was crying. I was getting the response I expected from him.
It's a little, you're a little hard on him.
Kid in jail.
I mean,
cuffing him for not pooping on the potty.
Yeah, I feel like there's foreshadowing here. You're setting something up that you maybe shouldn't have.
It's gonna be like the baby Gronk dad or
Where was he pooping? Where was he pooping?
In his
deserved handcuffs?
diaper, I guess, or in his pants.
Okay, well, that's not the. I mean, if he was taking the pants down and just squatting in corners, leaving sweet surprises for mom and dad to find throughout the day, that's a different story.
Did that happen
Just
with
in
your
the
kids?
pants? No.
Okay.
I
How
thought
did it go
that-
with your kids?
Oh, sorry.
About average. You have some accidents, but they figure it out, right? I mean, I didn't think potty training was all that difficult, to be honest with you.
Did you sit there in the bathroom and encourage, and then bring games or an iPad to go? Okay, come on. And then when they
Bring
say
games and an iPad, if they need games and an iPad, they're in there too early. They shouldn't be sitting there having a party. You go in, do your business, get out. I told you.
wow, it's very
Girl,
2 minutes
are
max
easier,
for
though.
a bathroom break.
Like girls are a
You know.
lot easier.
I wonder why that is. Is that just your experience, Butch?
No, it's there's research out
there?
there.
Okay.
Is there?
All right.
Absolutely.
that boys have a more stubborn poop instinct to them.
I don't know if it's the poop, but just in general,
Okay.
girls are easier to potty train than
Interesting.
boys.
Yeah.
Okay. I just remember when our daughters would finally succeed, we were told make a big deal of it.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, yeah.
Oh, we threw a
Was that-
party for
cheer.
Absolutely.
Because it's
You're
learn
right.
response.
Yeah.
It's a learn response.
Hey,
Right?
I was on a movie one time. They did the cha-cha coming out of the bathroom.
Oh, right.
Pee in the potty. Pee in the potty. What movie was that
I don't
from?
remember what movie that is.
Major League 3,
text
back
us.
to the minors.
No. it's not that.
414-799-1973.
I'm just kidding.
There's one where the kids talk, I think.
Uh,
It was one where the kids were talking.
I'm gonna look it up.
Roseanne Barr was like a voice of one of the kids.
The dad cop acknowledged in the interview when they found out what he was doing that he had disciplined his other son in a similar way, taking him to jail, and that it was effective. So he was just doing it with this other son. What's the next step if that doesn't work? I'll tase you, son.
Yeah, it's
if
bad.
you don't
Yeah,
go
right.
potty.
This is what I'm saying. Not to mention the fact that
Waterboarding.
here's the other thing. Okay, at least this was our experience with Jordy. The more we tried to push it to happen,
Yes.
the longer it took.
Yeah.
And then at one point it was just, you know what? All right, he's just gotta he knows what we want him to do.
Right.
Now we just gotta back off. And as soon as we did, he felt comfortable. He did it on his own. Boom, everything done.
Well,
No
it's
work.
got to be hard for a kid to have to do it with all that pressure, people wanting you to succeed and to please your parents, and maybe it's not there yet. You're not ready to go. I mean, that's got to be a lot of pressure to do it right. I mean, this is a whole new thing you're learning. So, we can be. I thought this was going to be like, hockey dad takes his kids and puts them in the penalty box for a photo op or something.
So wait,
fun.
you think that this story is not as bad as that? You
No,
think this story underwhelmed you?
I'd have to see it happen to know. But the kid's actually crying and you're locking them and walking away and traumatizing the kid, yeah. If it's like, dad's a cop and let's put them in handcuffs and for a Christmas card picture, like, I don't know.
Question.
It doesn't sound like it might. It sounds bad, but it doesn't sound like if we were there, maybe it wasn't as bad as it looks.
Okay.
It sounds. I don't know.
Question.
I mean, I'm not gonna do it, but
What's
hey,
the toughest punishment you've ever done, Steve, for anything with your kids?
Oh my God. Punishment.
stand in the corner, timeout, right?
I mean,
I
I'm
stood in the
such a
corner.
softie. I don't
So
really
am
even
I.
remember.
Oh man, it's
Punishing
tough. It's
per
tough
se.
to punish, man. It's
Okay,
tough.
how about this? What is the one parenting moment that you regret the most?
Ooh, I regret.
Oh boy,
'Cause
want to hear these?
I'll tell you mine. So Megan, my youngest, was going out on her little bicycle. Might have even had training wheels on it, but you got to have a helmet, right? So I'm trying to get the helmet on, I'm trying to fit the strap, and the strap has that little plastic buckle that snaps in, and I snapped it in and pinched the skin on
Oh
it,
yeah.
and she immediately starts crying and and I was so mad at the design of the helmet that I took the helmet off and then smashed the helmet to pieces in
It was
front
the
of
helmet's
her
fault.
in
When
anger.
the helmet's
in
fault.
anger.
Yeah.
In anger. And so she was quite traumatized
Yeah.
seeing dad's capacity for violence against a inanimate object. And I was like, God, I shouldn't have reacted that way. But I was so mad at the helmet. I was like, who designed this thing? Why are you
It's the
hurting my
helmet's
child
fault.
this
Yeah.
way?
And the best
Maybe
part
My
is
make
fault.
sure you have a finger underneath there so she doesn't get.
I
know.
But that's fine. It's the
and
helmet's
I-
fault. Yeah, okay,
I-
I got you.
Blame the
Did your
helmet.
daughter correct you? Did your daughter say, "Daddy, it's okay"? And then you came.
No,
to
she
the
cried
conclusion?
more and ran into mom.
Of course.
Do you,
Of course
do you
you
know
did.
what my biggest fear is? My biggest fear is this. It's one of the reasons I've taken Blake out of zipper pants, catching the you know what in the zipper.
Ooh.
That's my biggest
Yeah.
fear with him. Now with our daughter,
Just give him joggers
Wasn't
until
that
he's 15.
something about Mary?
Till he's
it might
15.
be, but it is a scary thing.
Favre was bad in that movie.
The toughest thing that I did, the parenting moment that I look at and said, did I handle it right? We were up at the cabin, they were messing around the lake without life jackets on, and I went over the top. I mean, over the top. I grabbed both of their shirts and just started just going after them. And I don't know if I handled it well, but in my defense, and that's why I still question this. I don't mess around with water. Like,
That's
you guys
that's
you guys
true.
know where the lake, like you know where the house is, you
Yeah.
know where the lake is. Like, that's the one area, like if they went out by themselves, like it's not like they got to walk down anything. Literally 2 steps, they could be in the water.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your beautiful lake house kind of terrifies me because when I went there last summer with you guys, it was very nice. But I'm like, man, if I had little kids around this
Mm-hmm.
wide area, oh my god!
Because you're
I'd
right
be-
on
I'd
the
be
water.
watching them all
You're-
the time.
It's right there. You take one step out, and you're right
And
there.
you're right there.
Do you-
Like, yes.
Do you guys all remember the first time that you had to assign a timeout? The first time I remember Jordy was so good and we did the I'm going to count to 3 game and worked every single time. It was I'd go 1 and he would be like, and he'd do whatever he needed to. One time he didn't listen to mom and I got to 3 and I went, oh my gosh, I actually got to 3. I have to do something now.
Yeah.
And I look at Julie and she goes, well, and I went and I picked him up and I put him in his bed and I said, you're on a timeout and you're staying here. And I closed the door. He's bawling. Julie and I are just in the hallway freaking out. Oh my God, what do we do? This is the first time he hasn't listened. It was,
First time he's gone rogue.
yeah.
You're talking in your earpiece. We have a subject who's gone rogue. He's gone rogue. What are we doing here? Protocol. So around the horn.
How long do we keep him in there? An hour, 2 hours? He needs to eat, right?
All right, Kuhn, biggest parenting regret so far to date.
Probably, and I'm still doing it, and I can't help it. It's complaining when I'm driving about other drivers on the road because they hear every single thing. and they
Do
will
you
repeat
use
every
adult
single thing.
language expertise?
I have. I've been much better about that. I've been much better. I've been much better at the passive aggressive. Like, come on, let's go. Scoot. Come on.
Scoot.
Come on, Hyundai, let's go.
Yep.
These gosh dang Michigan drivers. Honk, honk.
The other day I beat my horn and Elle was like, "Why'd you do that?" I said, "I was just saying hi. I was just saying hi.
The horn's just saying hi.
Just saying hi to
For
the
9
neighbor
seconds,
drivers.
a 9-second hello.
With your finger or in your hands, what you only had one finger up when you were driving? Like, what's going on there?
I remember my dad doing that once, and it traumatized my sister and I that he could get to the capacity of talking that much trash for the driver.
Really?
We're like, Dad, be quiet, don't do that, don't shut up, don't say that stuff. We were kind of older. We were coming out of cops, and there was a guy that cut him off, or a girl, like a female that cut
He
him
just
off.
wanted that ice cream. That's all. He was so
And
upset.
she-
He wanted to eat that ice cream.
And she flipped off the car, and my dad got mad. I don't remember what he was yelling. I'm trying to remember, but
Leon.
we hadn't seen that from him.
Leon.
We hadn't seen that from him. It was that, and one time her and I were I don't have a kid, so I'll tell the story about what he did. We were arguing about something, and we didn't argue much. My sister and I have one sister. That's it. And it was about like hearing the MC Hammer tape in the car. We wanted to hear different
you were
sides.
arguing about that, huh?
We had an MC Hammer tape, and my dad had in the car, and we wanted to hear different sides of it. And we kept arguing about what song. My dad pulled over, took the tape out, and smashed the tape and ripped it up.
Get out!
And we never forget. I'll never forget that.
Wow!
He set the tone right there.
MC Hammer,
MC Hammer.
gone.
Can't touch this.
Can't touch this anymore.
I think it was MC Hammer.
Brilliant.
I gotta text my sister. I think it was MC
brilliant.
Hammer.
And I would have thought, Butchie, the argument with his sister would have been, is Sean Elliott a better small forward
Yeah.
than James Worthy?
Exactly.
And that was
Absolutely.
not the argument.
That wasn't
Well,
it.
see, this was 91, so I was a big David Robinson stan early on in my life.
Josh, biggest parenting regret so far.
Mine has to be that I gave in when he was younger. I gave in way too easily to we can just chill. We can just, you can
Letting
just
him
watch shows.
opt out of
Right.
activities.
Right. It
you
just
know?
because now even if he wants to go, play with a ball outside or, whatever it is, he does it for like 10, 15 minutes. And then he goes, okay, I'm good. Can I go? And now I'm going, no, we're going to stay out here. But when he was younger, it was, sure, buddy, whatever you want. You want to go back inside? Sure. That's fine. We'll go back in. I'll make you some lunch. We can watch TV.
Yeah. I think forcing boys to stay in things is important. It's easy. When you get that opt-out sense of, I'm just not going to do this, becomes a habit. It's like
Right.
quitting. Can't
Right.
quit stuff,
But there's got to be some innate desire to do it too, right?
My parents were pissed, Armen, when I quit tennis one day. I was like, I'm done with this. They're like, we spent money on lessons. We drove you in the middle of rush hour down to this indoor tennis facility
You're
in the
done
winter.
when we tell you you're done.
Yeah, they were just stunned. They're like, what do you mean you're done with tennis?
They did it, but it wasn't fun for you anymore, right?
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I think one of the punk kids who was better than me, I realized I'm never going to be better than him. And I really hated this punk kid
God, that bothered
who
you.
had the Don A racket with the gut strings. We're talking 80s here, by the way.
Don A.
Expensive stuff.
Don
Remember
A.
those?
Bear, I don't. I
You
personally don't.
That's right.
I didn't grow up with that. I grew up in the 90s, so
Yeah,
we were playing with Wilson.
we're
and friends.
talking lollipop rackets that had the long necks and the small heads before
The wooden
large.
ones?
Yeah.
Those were the Arthur Ashe. The Arthur Ashe one.
Yeah. Prehistoric stuff.
That's
Early
crazy.
80s. Yeah.
Speaking of which, in this hole-in-one challenge, I can't wait till there's a tennis challenge. I'll show you guys what it's like. All these golf challenges and golf outings.
How was your swing?
I think
His
mine's the
swing was
worst.
fine.
I think I got the
swing-
worst.
His swing was the fourth worst swing at the station.
I appreciate
Okay,
that.
so
Three
rank
guys
them,
were worse.
Dave. Rank them. Go ahead.
From bottom up,
Billy has a
Bottom
sweet
up.
swing. Billy has a sweet swing.
Hunter's the worst. Red
Is it?
Hot's the second worst. As I looked at that montage,
Then me, right?
Doug would be the third worst.
No, Doug's better than mine.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, maybe so. Then you, then Josh, then Billy, then KB, then me.
That's fair, I think.
I think that's a fair ranking.
That's a fair ranking.
Yeah.
I was surprised with Billy's swing. I don't know why I was. I didn't know he played a lot of golf, or maybe he doesn't.
Oh, when he
but-
connects, he wants
yeah.
to.
I mean, I know he was an athlete, but I didn't know he's a golfer.
Yeah.
Big difference.
All right,
Yeah, he
so
golfed at the children's outing. Oh yeah.
so
Boy can hit long
I know he
balls.
can do it. I've seen him at Caddy
Oh,
Day
yeah.
too. I don't know why. I just maybe because he never wears a collared shirt that much. I don't wear a polo shirt. I don't think of him as a golfer.
if you're stuck for food or dinner tonight, lunch, yourself, your family, go to Quick Trip. They've got meals absolutely fresh, ready to go, never frozen. Quick Trip, it's the place to get some delicious food for home or wherever. I've already resigned myself, Butchie, to Lopez leaving. Not that I have any inside track on that. I'm
You
trying
really
to keep
think
my
so?
expectations low.
All
Yes. So I don't want to be disappointed. That's why.
I get that.
Butchie, I ask you.
That's not what you believe. That's just your reverse psychology.
Right. That's like betting
Nah,
insurance. You're
no,
hedging it.
No,
You're
I kind
hedging.
of believe it's going to happen. Butchie, are my fears unfounded?
They're not unfounded. Money always talks at times.
See?
Right? Money always talks at times. We'll see. I do think he's back. That's for sure.
Just
I
watch.
also know that Stricker has now birdied. He started at 10.
Nice.
He's birdied 11 and 12. He's already one under
On the
2
move.
under on the day, 1 under so far. So, yeah.
All right,
But
very
there's
good.
some valid points to Lopez. I get it, but I
Mm.
think he's back.
All right. Tag you guys are at 9 to noon is next. Josh, great job as always. Thanks to Leroy Butler for coming in today. Have a great 4th of July weekend. Be safe. Don't blow your fingers off like Jason Pierre-Paul. And we will see you on Monday live.
Back up, Terry.
Back up, Terry.
Alone to get the feeling right. We started making